Someone's asking here about s&box, the Face Punch new sandbox game. Um, so it's kind of an interesting time to talk about this as Dreams just got, Dreams developer Media Molecule just did a 20% reduction of staff announced today, which you said there, but they had like a tool set as well, right? But they didn't monetize their tool set or give players a way to monetize it in any way, which was strange. It had some discoverability problems, some other stuff, but that's a really good team over there. I really like that team. So it's sad to hear that, but it made me think of this. Because in a lot of ways, Gary's Mod is kind of the first of these kind of sandboxes. I mean, I don't know, Roblox was probably first or whatever, but it's not the same kind of thing, right? So Gary's Mod now, sandbox is really Gary's Mod with expectations, right? And Gary's Mod never had expectations before. It came out of nowhere, and kind of people learned to build things with it and make stuff, right? Make experiences. If you ever use Gary's Mod, you can play a bunch of other games inside of it, and it is just like a sandbox toolkit. But it grew over time, and so it was able to adapt and kind of have this natural pacing to it, where now Face Punch has this very scary thing of there's expectations around what's coming out, and there's expectations of what this has to have in it to be successful, and then what expectations players now have or developers now have in this space, right? Because in Roblox, you have people making careers out of making Roblox games. And so why would they spend their time in this over Roblox? Well, partially because it's a more mature tool set. It's kind of a different vibe to it. A lot of the Gary's Mod stuff just kind of has a more adult theme kind of feel to it, right? And so that's interesting. So, I think if anybody can do it, because there's a million people making these kind of sandboxes. Everyone saw Roblox, and oh my God, I know 5 million developers making this stuff. And if you guys are watching, because I know some of you, I told you to watch my TikToks, and I talk with you, I wish you guys all the luck, but you have three problems maybe, but two. One, why does a player want to play it? And then why does a developer want to use it, right? And why does a player want to play it is you have to have something good, something compelling to play. I would argue Gary's Mod was just really compelling in the very beginning just because it was weird and strange, and you could take the Half-Life characters, and it had all this stuff. And so it kind of propped it up while then people made games like Prop Hunt. Right? But that needed that genesis to then build on. And so now they're coming kind of out of it without that, and people are going to be evaluating and going, why should I play this? When we do game nights, we stopped actually doing Gary's Mod because often we would hear people didn't want to have to install a thing to install a thing to install a thing, kind of the problem, right? Now, so they need to make that path smooth because there's a certain kind of person that plays like old source stuff and Gary's Mod, right? Like there's a vibe, and that's cool. That's fine. Like I like those people that play. Like, we play these, right? But that exists, and some people just don't want to get over that hurdle. So you have to make something really compelling. But then for the developers, why are they doing this? Why aren't they making an Unreal game? Why aren't they making a Unity game? Why aren't they making a Roblox game? Well, they need to be able to monetize this in some way to make something off of this. So they spend their time here. But they're trying to build on top of moving platform. So, you're going to have SDK updates or whatever underneath the hood. And so that's this really hard thing for them to be trying to build. But that's kind of common. But Face Punch, while they have a lot of people who've built on their platform, hasn't traditionally had like a big outreach and support system around there. They have their strange support system. Gary probably bans a few less people these days, but like it's worked really well for them. Will it scale for something like this? Because this feels like it has to be a little bigger. Or I guess Gary's Mod is so big, this needs to feel like that. So now one of the advantages they have of working really closely with Valve and Steam is, we used to joke, Valve could put rocks in a box and they'll sell 100,000 of them. You get the first 100,000 for free. So that might really help the platform in a way a lot of other platforms won't get, is they'll get just adoption because of the names and the people involved, right? Gary has an amazing track record of what he's put out. And so I think people are willing to engage with it and see. And so I think that will bring them a far way, right? But, it's scary for all of this is because you need to have that you need to attract developers before there's players, and then players need something compelling, because I don't think a sandbox alone holds the same charm it once did. Or maybe I'm wrong on that, and maybe it does. But it's interesting, and I think if anybody can do it, it really is Face Punch. Look at Rust. Rust, my favorite review was naked guys running around hitting each other with rocks. and what that's turned into with all the modifications and craziness on the servers there. So it's a really, really interesting proposition. And like I said, I really give them kind of the leg up over a lot of the other people that I talk with, just because of they've already got a lot of mind share, and they've already got a lot of compelling experiences that they've built or people have built before on stuff that they've made. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, I will definitely be playing some of the stuff that comes out there. Don't have time to play with the tools. If I wasn't making something, I probably want to ask to play with the tools as well. But yeah, so looking forward to it. We'll see.